see, self-explanatory. 5 years of service, 10 years of service, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. Ain't got nobody up there yet. But we're getting close. Another 2.5 years, I'll jump over one spot.
And what is the earliest service member you guys have identified?
1891.
Wow.
There is a picture on the board, or if you look behind you, there's a picture on there, and it's that Hole's house right there. It wasn't red, it's yellowish over there. It's that red building over there that there's, I believe, 14 young gentlemen that were fire department members. We went on a hunt to find their names because we knew somewhere along the way that there was names. I had seen the names years ago. Well, the Historical Society came up with the names to associate the names to the faces of the people. They are on this board, their names. So we put it out on the internet. Anybody that they knew of that belonged to the fire department, we didn't have, and we didn't get any response. If we find anybody that is on your fire department that's not on this board, they will be added. No. But we've done the best we could. You know, we're going back, we're 134 years old, you know. It's about time that somebody stepped up and put everybody on here that has served in this department. And from now on, to keep it updated. So we know of every person that gave their time. And there'll be a little spew later about most people don't really realize or know what goes on in the fire department. I mean, most people think that we come to these fire calls, we get in the trucks, fire's over, we come back, park and go home. Well, that's just a small part of it. And hopefully I can inform some of these people that this is what really happens here. You know, and a membership drive, that's another thing we'd like to have you, if you're going to do a little TV thing, we're pushing for a membership drive. All our people now are getting a lot of years of service. Well, it's not that long before these people are going to need to be retired. They don't need to be, their choice obviously. Yeah. Whether it's their choice or whether for time, which time gets everybody. Yeah. And nobody wants to volunteer today. When I got on here, you had to wait to get on. You know, so I'm going to try to push a little bit of, we got to get people to start joining. We got to get the young people. We do realize everybody doesn't like this, but there's certain people that like it. They're the ones that are still here 25, 30 years or more because they liked it, right? The prime example right there, prime example right here. How many years you got, Jeff?
19.
19, you know. I'm in my 48th. I should be retired by now. I'm still going strong, and I'm going to keep going as long as I can because we don't have anybody, you know. And we're not only West Rutland, we're every town. Same thing. Across the country, same thing. Small department, but this department is small, but it's always been well trained. When we get out the door, if we got a truck full, which is 6 people, we can get the job done. We have mutual aid, but we can get the job done until your help arrives. It's not like you got a whole bunch of people out there and you don't know what you're doing. You got small departments, they've got to be highly trained. You know, they got to know what they're doing. There's no room for error. I don't care if you're a full-time department or if you're a volunteer department. That fire is still real. It's still going to do the same danger whether you're full-time, you know, and you got to treat it that way.
I'm across the street. Yeah. So we had a one-story house, and then next to our RV, a two-story house. Close garage. Yeah, over on the water. Yes.
So we have it halfway there.
And we sold that one. I'm not a motor. Docks are always good to destroy, but storm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today for this occasion. The monument that you're about to see is a tribute to all those who've served and will serve on the West Rutland Fire Department. It was put together by a committee of our members. And I'd like to recognize that committee and thank them for their work. The committee was chaired by Steve Dawher. assisted by Christian Kubiak and Lori Lyons. So thanks to the committee for without further ado, I'll turn it over to the chair of the committee to carry on.
Okay, welcome everybody here. Beautiful parade we had. I'm glad everybody could come out and honor the veterans. But now we're here to honor our service members. A lot of people here served a lot of years, and there's absolutely no recognition for what they have done. And this being May, which is recruitment month, and we got a lot of nice young people here. We have people here that have 20, 25, 30, 35 years of service. Excellent firefighters, best of what they can be. But time is getting ours. We need new people. We need young people to step up, to join, so this does not ever go away. We need to provide a service to the town of Rutland, and we're greatly appreciated. So it'd be nice if you could come and join us. We understand that everybody that joins may not like it. Come give us a try. If you're the one of the ones that like it, you'll end up like TV with a lot of years of service. So back to the monument. We started this about a year ago. We came up with the idea that we really need to do something for the past members of the fire department. They go forgotten. Nobody ever thinks about it. There's people in there that have 40, 30, 40, 25 years of service. Nobody knows nothing about it. So I mentioned it to one of our firemen. He thought it was a great idea. I mentioned it to another one, and they thought it was a great idea. I brought it to the membership. The membership overwhelmingly says, let's do it. We need to get this done. So they gave us free rein to do what we needed to do. So first off, we had to have a board. We had to find all the members that belong to it. We put it out on the internet. We put it out there for people to know anybody that has belonged to this fire department. Let us know in case you don't have your name now. We're going back to 1891. You realize we're 134 years old. That's a long time. That's a lot of records. We had no response to that project, so we figured we were good there. If anybody comes up with a name that we don't have, it will be added. We found a picture that we have hanging after this book. Very well. We're looking at all this stuff. For 14 young men that were on the Western Fire Department, we figured around early 1900s, and that little red barn right over there was the whole house that they were up against. That's what the picture was taken. Well, somewhere along the way, we knew that there was names associated to the faces, and we got lucky in the Historical Society. They came up with the names and put the name on the board, so now they're a part of our group. So we had all these nameplates we had to have made, which we had them all engraved. Everybody that's here, they will go on the board for your 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and so on, and 5 years and below on another column. You're welcome to look at that after we're finished. We went to H.H. Hirschman, because where are we going to find a board for 1.5 by 8 foot long? So we went over to see Mr. Hirschman, and he graciously sat down with us. He drew out a drawing. He did a little bit of fancy work. He told us to be some sculptor on it, and the board would be made out of mahogany. And I asked him, I says, well, you really need a price. You have to take the price back to membership. We just can't tell you to do it. He said, oh no, there will be no price. So hats off to Mr. Hirschman. He deserves it. Furthermore, they CNC'd the board for us, so all our plaques would be perfectly in alignment, and they delivered. All for no cost. There again, Mr. Hirschman done us a great favor, as he did for the front doors of this fire station when the new part was built. So then we moved on to the next issue. This is where it kind of got a little complicated at times. This stone, unveiled, that's it right there. Pull that one. talked about going the route of marble. Well, marble was out because of the maintenance on marble and the upkeep on it. And if somebody happens to dump something on it, well, you know how that goes. So we went to Keith Barker at Balker Memorials and asked him his opinion, and he pretty much told us what we already knew, that we need to go black granite. Well, black granite, when that size doesn't come from here, it has to come from overseas. So it was going to be kind of a rush to get this all done before next fall, and he said, no, let's not do it next fall. Let's hold off for Memorial Weekend next year, which is right now. So he was very helpful. There's another round of applause needs to go up for Keith Barker and Vulcan Memorial. He did this for us for no cost, him and his crew, which very well appreciated, because we're not talking pennies here. So we had a problem. If you notice the picture, the graphic on it, the committee had a picture not quite that way, that we bought to him, which he bought to the lady in Barry that does this. Had to be done up there because of the size. He can do them, but not this size. So we bought this to him. He bought it to the lady, and she came back and she says, "Can't really do that picture because if you do grainy by the time we make it the size that you need. Plus the fact is," said, "believe it or not, you can get into copyright problems." So she suggested that she draw us a picture and send it back down here and see if it's something that we liked. And when it came back to the committee, she nailed it. This is exactly what we wanted. You look close at it, you can see all of the detail. Being a fireman, you would notice the air packs, the tailboard they're sitting on. There's a lot of detail in this picture. So we're very happy with that part of it. So anyway, he proceeded to get this thing put together, and it sat up in his shop there until now. They came down and they installed it. I think they did an excellent job, and I think that they definitely deserve thanks for what they've done for us. So most people here, other than people that are firemen, don't realize what a fireman's life is all about. You get called in the middle of the night, you get your clothes on, you get dressed, you're in the vehicle, you're down the station, you're in the station, you get your gear on, and you go out these doors within 3 to 5 minutes. Now that's pushing it. That's what happens in the West Rutland Fire District. When we go to a fire, say it's a structure fire, usually it's an hour, 2, 3, depending on the size of the fire, depending on the nature of the fire that you spend. And then all the spectators go home. It's over. Well, guess what? It ain't over for the firemen. These guys are there for another 2-3 hours, tearing down ceilings, tearing down soffits, checking for hot spots so there's no extension. And they just keep going. So now they've got another 2-3 hours. So then they get to pick up all their line, their supply line, which seems like every time you put out a supply line, at least 1,000 feet in it, you never get a sharp. And all your attack line. And then it's not over yet. You come back to the station. All that line has to be washed. All that has to be spread out. If it's winter time, it's frozen, it has to be unthawed. Line has to be taken from the racks, put in the truck, repacked. All the nozzles have to be put back on. The air pack bottles have to be filled. Every number on the air pack, every bottle has to be recorded for the number that it was used. The masks have to be recorded and used. The pack themselves have to be recorded and used. It all has to be put back together. And then the trucks, you can see the packs and holes in the trucks. And before we had this new beautiful station, in the middle of the winter, we were out here in the middle of the road packing holes. Tommy, you remember? 20 below zero, we could be packing holes out there. And that's what a fireman's life is all about. And then when you think it's over, it's not over yet. In West Rutland, the pride that we have in our trucks in our department, those trucks have to be washed and parade ready before you leave the building. And when these people do this, they do it all. You never hear a complaint. They do their job, never say a word. If they had to come back and do it the next time, they'd be right back doing the same thing over again without a complaint. This is why we feel these people need recognition of what they do. Find many people to give that much time without complaining of something. You know, but it goes on here all the time. So we're very grateful that people showed up here for this. We're grateful for the membership. And by the way, I personally want to thank the membership because without them, they paid for the whole project. So, we'd like to give the firefighters their due for what they're owed. We'd like to give the town a beautiful monument, and I guess you could call it green space. Lori Lyons, flowers, planted flowers, Lori down there. And I'd like to thank the members for helping us clean those stone out here because they didn't feel it was appropriate black stone, not the black monument, and you know how that goes. So we had to change the stone. So again, thank you all for coming. Thank you, membership. Without that, none of this would have been able to happen.
If you've never been here before, we invite you to take a look around and join us inside. And we also remind you that there's a ceremony, Memorial Day ceremony, and barbecue at the American Legion following this. So thank you all for coming.
Can I see? Oh, you're leaving? Are you going into it?
Thank you.